So when it comes to scenic photos of the scenery, such as mountains or valleys or streams, how do you make it come across and look really professional, like a true DSLR camera, even if you've taken it with your iPhone or your smartphone device? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you ways that you can enhance it, even if you filmed it in a DSLR, or even if you've taken the photo with a 35mm camera, or even one of your older pocket Instamatic cameras. I will show you techniques to how to digitize and enhance any one of these, coming right up. Today we're going to take some more photos from this and enhance them. This is the album where I have some of my scenic photos of Mount Hood National Forest, along with some of the rivers. And I'll be sure to share the tools that I'm using and put a link in the description so that you can use the exact same tools and get pretty much the same results. Well, your results may vary, but you get the idea. You'll get similar results. So if you're interested in that, stick around as we now go to my den where we're going to go and finish the rest of this, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to restore these old photos. Okay, so here's part 2 of our Mount Hood restoration photo. Remember, we did this one here and we made it look like this one here. So it went from here to here to here. Yeah. Before and after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay, you get it. So now we want to go find the next one, which was this 1232, which was this one here. Very similar. I think I used a telephoto lens on that one. And let's get cracking. Let's do it. All right, we're back and we're in Photoshop. I'm going to take my normal healing brush. I'm going to bump up the size a little bit, probably towards 50, because there's a big gap here in the sky. That's not something you hear every day, right? There's a big gap in the sky. Okay, so we're going to cover the corners, cut the sky. Now we're going to go down to the side here where we got a little bit of vegetation. We're trying to bring that down. Going to recreate this bumper on this car down here as we corner. I don't know, that doesn't look, that's okay, I guess. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not really too sure. Now this person that elongated their legs, I don't know if they had that long of legs. You know what I might do? I might just crop this bottom part, because that would be a little bit better. So I'm going to go up here to this rectangular marquee tool. Take it all the way down to right about there. That way it'd be more accurate. I don't want to mess up some. I don't want to give someone. I don't want to make someone taller than they really were or are or whatever. Anyway, it's just probably a random person pulling over, taking a picture just like I was. But notice we have these artifacts here. So I'm going to bump back to the healing tool, going to reduce the size to around 20, and let's just start cleaning these off, picking these off there. It's almost like you know what this reminds me of when you're clicking on these? It reminds me of when you go to like the DMV to get your license, your driver's license, you know, and then they say, when you see the light, click the button, you know, or maybe when you go to the eye doctor and they do that, click the button. So you click, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, I see one, click. It's like a game. It's kind of like a fun game. All right. So now, that's cleaned up. I think these photos aren't too bad. I've had a lot worse before. Oh, there's some sky, just a sliver of sky that, there we go. That needed to be corrected. I realized my crop wasn't very good, and there's some smudges here. There's an artifact there and there and there. Right there. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. So now I want to do an auto tone. So let me bring back to, okay, the size. Okay, now I'm going to auto tune. There's some haze right here. See if I can dehaze this. Desaturate? No, I don't want to desaturate. I want to filter. Filter gallery. No, I don't want to filter gallery. I want, I think it's, maybe it's under here. I'm looking for the dehaze, and for some reason I am, now that I'm trying to show, oh, here it is right here. Okay, so yeah. So that is removing the haze, but it's doing a lot of other things I don't want it to do, like removing some of the lights. Yeah, see, when I did auto, it corrected this, but then it made that really oversaturated. So if I go down the list of these exposures, we want to drop down the exposures like we did before with the other photo. I want to bring up the contrast ever so slightly. And the highlights is what I want to bring down because I want the snow to be visible. So now what I've done is I've taken the contrast up a little bit, the highlights down just a smidge. The shadows, I don't want to go too low with them, but I need to have some sort of contrast. Over here, we're bringing in the highs again, a little bit of the whites back after I've taken the whites out from the shadowing or the highlights, and then I'm bringing it back. So, all right, so here we go. The texture is something that you can play with. It'll actually clean up the, if you notice the sky where it's all pixelated, it's almost like a denoiser, like if you bring it through an AI enhancer or a denoiser. I don't want to do that yet because we have the Gigapixel, which really cleaned up the sky on that other one. But we could just use this tool, but I might lose some detail as well. So I don't, like right now, like if I put the clarity is bringing up a sharpness. See that? So I don't want to do that quite yet. And the same with the texture. I could give it more texture. It's hard to tell. The dehaze, I think I still want to leave up there. And this is going to be a little tough one. The only way I could do, what I could do is, you see where right there, wherever this is right here, I'm fighting with the contrast from the white to this dark, and I could oversaturate this area right here and leave the mountain as is. I'm trying not to do that though. I'm trying to make sure that we can do this in a relatively, quick way and not have to alter the photo too much. So, and that's just a personal choice. You might decide to take more time or less time with these. I tend to say that just take as much time as you think you need with these old photos. But when you think about it, you're just trying to restore it for your memories. You don't want to spend all your days sharpening one old photo that you took randomly on the side of the road. That's what I guess my point is. Do it just enough where you feel like you're okay with it. And I'm doing a little bit more because I'm sharing this with you, and so sometimes I get really into it, But life's, what's that saying? Life's too short. You don't want to miss things out in life by restoring photos. Okay. So that's not too bad. Oh, I see this smudge right here. Let me bump up my healing tool to really big, and I'm just going to go like that in the sky. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like I saw some blemish, and now I'm like, am I seeing things, or is it just me? I don't know. Maybe I'm just use my healing tool in vain. I don't know what's going on here. Click on that. All right, let me reduce the healing tool. It's like a ribbon. Is that look like a ribbon? Is that the ribbon in the sky? Is there a ribbon in the sky? Is that like a Stevie Wonder song? Ribbon in the Sky? I like that song, I think. All right. So here we go. Now we got this all, I think, as much as we can get done. So I'm going to save it and then export it into a smaller version, just like we did before, to run it through Gigapixel. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm just going to pause and speed that up so you don't have to watch me do that. Here we go. Okay, I'm back, and I've saved this file as a reduced size, and I've got the Gigapixel up here. I'm going to drag and drop my file in there. So right away it's loading, it's updating, it's looking at this photo, and it's trying to make sense of it all. Interesting. That didn't do as good as the job as that other one did. And I'm not sure why. It did bring back some clarity in the snow, but it didn't clean up the screen or the sky as much. Now, I know that I used some of the tools that we saw in there to do that. So perhaps that has something to do with it. I don't know. Well, let me save this as the newly rendered file. And then let me go into, let me bring it into, Topaz has another product called the Topaz Denoiser. So Denoiser will hopefully, they use it on a lot of wildlife because you can get the wildlife that's at a distance, you can get the feathers and everything back, the detail back if you're at a distance. So let me try this one here. Wow, that zoomed it in, didn't it? Okay, so it's updating. See in the lower right here, mid lower right. So it says updated. So now if I bring the slider over, it doesn't look like it's changed much. And it could just be because that there's some artifacts in this photo that we just can't get it any further than this, which is probably okay. So now that we've done that, I'm going to compare it with that other one. Let me bring that back up. So here's the before and here's the after. I'd still say that's a win, even though we did get a little bit of artifacts in here, a little bit more than I was hoping. It wasn't as good as that first one we did, but overall, I think it's pretty good. So let's do this. Let's compare both of them now side by side. So here's the before, this one and this one. And here's after, this one and this one. I still think the one on the right was the winner as far as I'm concerned. That was just so, I mean, it brought back so much that I wasn't even expecting that to happen. So it was pretty awesome. All right, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that 2-photo special about Mount Hood and restoring those photos from that old 110 pocket camera quality to more of an HD quality with our modern tools at our disposal today. So if you like this video, click on the like and subscribe, and be sure to tune in for our next video where we're going to go over another family restoration project. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. All right, that's enough restorations for one day. I hope you enjoyed this story and this restoration video. If you're interested in more videos like this, click over here. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.